Look, online video can sometimes feel like a young person's game. I mean, let's face it, you don't see many creators over 50, which is exactly why I think there's huge potential for older generations to build successful YouTube channels. You want evidence? Meet Leah of the home improvement channel SeeJaneDrill. At the time of this recording, she's nearing 160 million views and 1 million subscribers. Leah teaches us to do all kinds of things around the house, from patching drywall to fixing a running toilet to hanging pictures on a brick wall. But best of all, she makes you believe that
you can do this.
After 30 years as a construction worker and a trades instructor, now Leah's job is YouTube. Thanks for joining, Leah.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks, Matt.
So your video on a quick fix for damp basements was really helpful to me after the hurricane we just had. The video on sealing cracks in my driveway was great. How are you such an expert at all these things?
I don't know if I'm an expert at everything, but here's the thing. I think it's just the nature of the trades. When you're in construction, the way it's set up is apprenticeship programs. And you have journeymen who are the skilled, seasoned tradesmen and women. They work alongside apprentices and they teach them everything they know. So there's this free exchange of information. So when you work on a construction site, maybe Harry the plumber can help you with a home project. So since I've been in the trades for 30 years, I've done a lot of projects.
So what made you start a channel back in 2013, and who was your intended audience?
Well, I was teaching at the time. I was an instructor in the classroom, and my students who were pre-apprentices, they said, you know what, Leah, this is the kind of stuff that they don't teach in high school anymore. There's not shop in high school. And you really should make this available to everybody. And I started to think about that. You know what, Matt? That's true. They don't teach shop in school anymore. And I thought that this would be a really great resource for anyone that owns a home. So that was my target audience. I assumed, though, that the majority of my audience would be women. I just assumed that, being a woman. But that's not the case at all. The majority of my audience, overwhelmingly, are men.
Leah, there's something so positive and supportive about the way you teach on camera. You don't just make these tasks look doable, but you encourage us along the way. And I was just watching a lot of your videos. You end them by saying, you can do this, which I love. And it's not, you can do this. It's, you can do this.
This is Leah saying, you can do this.
Was that a strategic choice as a slogan, or is that your natural personality?
I think really both. Okay. I think that I needed a slogan and a catchphrase, but I also really believe that people can do more than they think they can. And I think that when it comes to home repairs, I think people overthink it. They think that it's like, rocket science. And it's not. It's just nobody ever is there to show folks, this is how you do it. And it turns out to be a lot easier than people think. So yeah, I think it's just probably my personality more than anything else to encourage folks. You can do this. You can do this.
You have really good sound compared to most home improvement tutorials. Do you use a lavalier mic, or can you talk about your production?
A lavalier gives me the opportunity to really talk people through what I'm doing. There's that, I want that connection,
Mm-hmm.
And I think with voiceovers, you don't have that connection. So yeah, that's why I use a lavalier. Now, there are those occasions, Matt, when I have to do a voiceover, but for the most part, I want people to come on the journey with me so they feel like they're part of the repair. And if I wear a lavalier as I'm doing the task, I think it creates that.
How steep of a learning curve was all the video part of it, the production part of it?
It was like Mount Everest. It was hard. I'll be honest. It was difficult.
How did you get over it?
Because it's part of my philosophy, that it applies to me as well. I can do this. And that was the one thing that I kept saying to myself. People do this every day, Leah. Don't psych yourself out. Don't overthink it, right, Matt? And so I just stuck with it, and eventually they fell into place.
I don't know if there's a polite way to ask this, but I feel like there aren't enough creators from your generation on YouTube, and it's a shame because there's so much wisdom and so much experience to share. Why is that, and how do we convince more people to jump in?
You know what? I agree with you 100%. Because, YouTube is a big tent and everybody watches YouTube. But creators, they don't tend to be older. And this is what it is. And it gets back to the question that you just asked. And it has to do with technology. I think people are a little apprehensive about the technology, and they look at it like I initially did, Mount Everest, editing. And it's if you weren't raised with this technology, it's a little bit of a struggle.
Let's talk about money a little bit, if you don't mind. And you just said before we started recording that you've been doing it full time for a few years now. Can you talk about your various revenue streams? Is it the ads? I think I saw you have a Patreon. What are all the ways you make money for this operation?
I mean, who knew that it could be a full-time living? I mean, I certainly didn't know when I started, but I will tell you my revenue streams are this. The vast majority come from AdSense, and then about 65%. And then I do what's called affiliate marketing. A lot of the tools that I use in the videos, I want people to be able to access those tools. So I always say, at the end of the video, I always place a link in the description below so you can find the tools and the materials that I use in this video, and so that they can check it out for themselves. I do a lot of speaking engagements, and I travel all over the country speaking. The next revenue stream is a lot of brands come to me and they want me to make instructional videos for them, for their brand or for tools that are used. So there's that revenue stream. As you mentioned, Patreon. I have a good number of patrons that support my channel. And then there's something called Ko-fi, where people can buy me a cup of coffee. It's a fun revenue stream, okay?
Are the speaking engagements because of your fame through the channel? Is that why you're getting invited?
Absolutely. And that's been a lot of fun too. I mean, it's been a hoot to meet people all over the country, and folks come up to me and they say, "We watch you on YouTube," and so it's fun. I'm having a blast, Matt. I'm having a blast.
From my research, maybe even better than the money is how you've helped so many people from your 160 million views. Do you have a favorite story from viewers writing in?
There have been a lot of really touching stories, the kind of emails that you get that it really grabs you, really tugs at your heartstrings. There was a woman named Elaine, and she had a aneurysm, and it had interfered with her ability to recall. She was in the trades, and she couldn't remember how to do things. And she started watching my videos to reconnect with that which was disconnected, which was her experience in the trades. And so she actually came out to visit me in Seattle. And it was very, very, very touching. And she thanked me. She said, "Thank you so much. You've given me a connection to my past, my connection back." So I was really, really touched by that. She was wonderful. In fact, we still talk today.
That is amazing. And it makes you realize that it goes beyond all the numbers, the views and the subscribers. Leah, thank you so much for your time. This has been one of my favorite interviews. Everyone watching, do check out SeeJaneDrill and learn how to do all kinds of things around the house and believe that you can do it. Thanks, Leah.
Thanks, Matt, for having me.